And there you have Ethnics with Shihude right there here on the Morning Mix. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Mix. Thank you so much for joining us once again. It is Tuesday, the 15th of February. Welcome. And thank you very much for joining us this morning. Kaufi, Moro.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Geht's gut?
Alles gut. Wie geht's, ja?
Mir geht's auch gut, dankeschön.
Danke.
Did you survive Valentine's Day?
Yep.
Okay, who will go first here?
Was there a lot of love involved, Mitch, on your birthday
No,
on
man.
Valentine's Day? Huh?
I'm actually mad there was no love involved.
Any
but,
mavutus?
the mavutu
Ish.
that I was supposed to be with. Man, it's my heart here, again. But it's, there was no mavutu, man.
You didn't have the necessary, let's say, investment monies like
Mina said.
Mina
instead-
said
yeah, there
yesterday.
was no
It's
investment.
understandable, you know.
Yeah, but the day went well, man. It was chilled. I mean, I'm sitting here. You are not hearing any.
Oh,
So
There we go.
It was really chilled.
Het ons dit.
Nee, dit klink regtig. There's no
Yeah, so it was really chilled, and I was just at home. Just had a bit of wine, man. I was a white guy yesterday.
Oh, you were a white guy yesterday.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, we probably can't say the same about you, Kaufi.
Ja, Olani dort was lekker.
Kaufman.
Nee, wat? My broer, ons het dit baie rustig gevat gisteraan. It was a clear choice between are we going to buy flowers and chocolates or are we going to buy electricity, fuel, toilet paper, meat,
So the
toilet
path was
vegetables for the house for the week.
And that's
So,
that one thing that we always
klaar.
forget, net toilet paper. Ek ken nie hoekom vergeet ek al die tyd. I will go with the mindset of like ek gaan koop toiletpapier.
Nee?
As ek daar kom, dan loop ek met ander goed uit.
You just don't buy. You just only kak.
As ek uitkom, ek gaan staan net met kak daar binne. As ek uitkom as ek aan die kak.
Yes.
No, for me, I think Mevrouw also, sorry, I think she also understands that. I think when it comes to choices and consequences, we need to be very, very, very clear here
Yes.
as to what is choices and what's consequences. Ons kan nou lekker gisterand gaan uitgeëet het and then what? Yeah, there's not an overflow of cash that's just lying around with everybody. So, and she knows that for the longest time, for years on end, we had all the luxuries that you can buy and enjoy at your heart's desire. Hierdie jaar, nee.
It's very easy, Neville. Small children, small amounts of money.
Oh,
Big children, big amounts of money. That's the way it
Kaufi, thank you. Now I understand my budget better.
There you go.
I
No,
fully
what was the most expensive thing that you have ever bought your
Kids.
kids?
Kids.
and
I always
just say
remember
anything.
Four.
what the one gets, the other one must also get.
Yes.
Oh my
There's,
God,
there's
man.
no
You.
one gets this and
Mitch,
the other one
it's
doesn't.
it's difficult to say.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to say
Let's
because
just say, was it between the bracket of like 6 to 10 or?
if you can include overseas holidays,
Oh my
then it's a lot.
Yes.
Because I'm doing this for you and you and you and you. I have to pay this out of my pocket.
The
So
most expensive thing I've bought my kids, or that I'm buying their kids at the moment, is their education.
yeah. It's the
It's not
education.
vacation, it's education.
It's education.
Like, I'm asking this because the other day I saw a girl. I think that girl was around like 15 to something. Man. I think she was 15 or from 14, somewhere there. And she was fighting her father for an iPhone. By MTC. Ek het nog my kaart gaan oorgekoop.
Wow,
And
so
it is like-
beautiful, eh? Fighting your father over
Yeah.
an iPhone.
Over an iPhone.
Oor 'n
Yeah,
iPhone. Die kind was kwad, Neville.
Ah, man.
Die kind was kwad. En dit is 'n
Oh,
15-jarige kind. Ek glo nie
Oh,
sy is oor 15.
Wag totdat sy so 23 is en sy moet haar eie rekeninge betaal.
Hello,
That's
hello.
it. Dan vlieg daai iPhone ook uit die venster.
Ek ken nie eens die watter een is daai ene met die 3 kameras, maar dit was oor daai een.
No, man, it's nonsense. No, Neville. You must budget separately for these occasions. What occasions? Is this? Is Valentine's Day supposed to be an occasion? Seriously? This commercially charged, consumer-driven hope.
Dis
Ek stel nie belang nie.
it's like, so you know what's going to hit us now next week? Easter.
Hallo,
Dan is dit nou weer Easter.
hallo.
Is daar nog so iets?
Ja,
Ja,
and then we just
hallo,
carry on
Jay,
en on
wat
voordat ons uit.
Tanita reg gemeente
then it's-
is.
Then it's Christmas again.
Wait, next week is Easter.
Nee man,
Nee,
wat
nee,
se
nee,
kalender
nee,
is.
nee, nee,
They
nee,
start advertising Easter.
Yeah, that's what we
So
say.
we've got to buy
Ek is like,
Easter
wat in die
stuff
keet,
again.
mans?
Ja. I invested in mine. No chocolate nonsense. Myne moet gaan studeer.
Dis hy.
Dis wat Malume sê. No, Teshon, seriously, was jy regtig geblok? Huh? Omdat ek Moffie Toffee gesê het. Vir wie het jy Moffie Toffee gesê? Owens flowers can wait for a rainy day. TP is priority.
Wat is TP?
Salomao. That's what Salomao is saying. What is TP? Please tell us. Teshon sê hy was in. Was jy nie moeg gewees my broer? Wow.
That is why he wasn't online yesterday.
So hy's moeg. Die boeg maak moeg.
Because we still said happy birthday and everything. Remember?
We even sang for him.
Happy
didn't even
belated
see it.
birthday, my
Yes.
broer. Sebi Shanika, good morning, the Valentine survivors. No. I went to bed early. Good morning, môre manne. Nee, wat praat met Koffie wat moeg lyk. Ons het niks gedoen nie. Thanks Natalie, thanks Gladness, Joyce, thank you very much guys. Next week is Easter. Pendanale.
Hulle moet nie 'n man so laat skrik nie.
Koffie,
Dis hy.
give it to us.
Romante News. Romante News. Romante News. Firm but fair.
This is Informante Live, and these are our top stories. As the Namibian government officially announced the end of the fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country, the Health Ministry has announced the increase of public gatherings from 200 to 500 persons, while other measures remain unchanged. The current regulations are due to expire at midnight on the 15th of February 2022. The status quo will be maintained and extended for 30 days from 16 February to 15 March 2022. This is according to the new public health measures announced by Vice President Nangolo Mbumba, who noted that the country is now in the latent stage of the fourth wave as cases have declined. We are recording a low positivity rate across the country. It is a source of encouragement that the situation has been manageable in the past 3 weeks, Mbumba said. He further added that the government continues to observe with concern the public apprehension and hesitancy on the safety of COVID-19 vaccines. The mullet washed ashore at the Walvis Bay Lagoon and harbour area should not be eaten, the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources has warned. The ministry is conducting water analysis to identify the phytoplankton species present in the areas to determine whether they are toxic or not. The water analysis comes after an enormous number of mullets washed up at Walvis Bay, while jellyfish were observed in the Swakopmund and on the beaches between the two towns. And finally, the Namibian police in Omusati region have opened a docket of inquest after Noivo Ndepapawa Mundukuta, at the age of 3, died as a result of consuming sulfuric acid on Saturday. The incident occurred around 7 o'clock at the Uhonga village in the Onesi constituency in the Omusati region, while she was left by the grandmother in the care of a 12-year-old boy. According to Omusati Regional Commander Commissioner Titus Shikongo, the acid was used to disinfection of tick-infected puppies. However, the boy failed to dispose of the remaining content properly after using the acid. He added that the boy was in the field at the time of the accident while the deceased was in the room sleeping. When the girl woke up, she picked up the acid that was placed at the house entrance and consumed the acid, Shikongo said. He said the girl was rushed to a hospital after she started vomiting, but unfortunately died underway. The body was transported to the Okahau police mortuary. Your Trustco share price today, the 15th of February, is at $1.35 per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 20 cents. Against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars and 30 cents, and against the British pound at 20 Namibia dollars and 60 cents. This is Informante Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Omante News. Omante News.
Level I can just.
Firm but fair.
I can just imagine the parkeer aunties daar by die kus. Hulle is net like die Here squat. Wat hy first hulle is net die Here squat, julle sien.
What kind of fish is it? What
It's
is
a
it?
mullet.
Mullet.
It's a species of fish.
Nee.
Yeah.
Is dit die daai
Bietjie
waarmee
groter
hulle
as 'n maasbanker.
Oh, okay.
But not as
Yeah.
big as a cob or
Oh,
as a
okay. Yeah, that's rather unfortunate that it's not edible.
Well, the question is the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources are saying they are warning people not to eat this.
Yeah.
However, they are still conducting a water analysis to identify the phytoplankton species present in the areas to determine whether they are toxic or not. So the fish are swimming out due to, I guess, a lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
And the ministry is saying just be on the lookout. Jy weet mos as die kreef so uitstap ook. Out of-
Ja, die
when
kreef
the-
loop
when
mos
the
in, there's
crayfish
no oxygen in.
red tide and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Jonathan Kingdom says, so yesterday was love. What kind of love is dedicated to a day in a year? Huh?
What?
Yeah.
I think what he wants to say is like
Oh, please explain this to me because
it's like, why should people only show love to each other on a specific day? I think that's what he wants to say. Oh, heavens, he's even saying this.
Oh, okay, Jonathan Kingdom, if that is what you mean, then I am with you, my brother, because I shall not be pushed in the little corner to spend $2,500 to $3,000 for one day of fun. Toilet paper, yeah. Salomao, toilet paper. Ja, Jürgen. Ja, the show is like yesterday. Jy's doodreg. Ek sê gister was vir day of het jy weet jy. Valentine's Day of het jy uitgeslap. Same outfit. Wie het uitgeslap? Koffie het gesunrise. Ja.
I did the walk of shame.
Yes.
Do men do the walk of shame actually?
Women
Have you ever
also
done a
do.
walk of shame as a man?
Women also do the walk of shame.
What's a typical walk of shame? Please explain
If you
this.
sleep over and the next morning at 5 in the morning or 5:30 or 6, dan moet jy stap.
chip jy uit.
Dan moet jy chip.
Nee, ek het al, I have done the walk of shame. very early in my life.
What happened to me
in my
was like
20s.
the girl's parents actually got back much earlier than they were supposed to. And I was also supposed to be in church the next day. And die mense was in die sitkamer.
En daai kantoor hy se tralies gehad.
And say, devil. I stayed there till the next day.
So how many of you guys have done the walk of shame?
Yes.
As Deitzer explains here. Oh, disgusting, you people. Me, myself, and I've never done the walk of shame.
Ah, come on. Please.
Ever.
That is-
Ever.
You are not allowed to lie on live TV. Come on, man.
Oh, presidents lie live on TV. Yeah, but that, I think, for everybody to say that you've lived your life, you should have done the walk of shame.
Yes.
Yeah,
But I don't know if it was really a walk of shame for me. I was very bold walking out of there. Haha, ek het gekry.
That's it.
Yeah, but
Het
Neville,
was lekker.
you were probably in a situation where the people of the house were like not present. Like I had to walk out of that, like the mensen sit in die sitkamer, Neville.
Middag.
Middag, hoe gaan dit oom?
Oeh.
Hey.
Daai dit oom kyk my net met daai oor like,
Ek sal
en jy
nie-
sweat nog.
Yes.
Jy sweet nog.
He did the run of shame,
Yeah.
not the walk of shame.
Natalie says, nee man, gents, julle moet regtig begin lyk soos gents. Nou, hoe lyk gents? Oh, please tell us, what are we supposed to wear? Must we wear suits on the show?
Like for real.
T-shirts.
Good morning, gentlemen. A friend of mine was told by his girlfriend that the flowers is for the dead people and she wanted only moolah for Valentine.
I say.
This is what DCya Maruru says. Wow. Mohausi Bolle says to Salomon, JS moet 'n nuwe parent weer. Hoekom lag jy so lekker? So dis Duitser wat mens bomgaai met sy Valentine shit. Ja, concentrate op daai Duitser. Ons ken nie die storie nie. Walk of shame, Roviera. Ons is op pad kerk toe en Neville loop in die warm son, taxi die rank toe van sy bomgaai stories. So Neville, jy was nooit gepick up nie. Kom as daar ladies be like, kom as daar 27 by die huistate on a Sunday morning. Ja, ne? Yeah, we've seen them. I've seen them.
And why do they have
Deshaun.
to hold the pumps like this when they have to do a walk of shame? I don't know. Die pumps word so gehou. Hallo. Hallo.
Môre. Iemand 'n taxi gesien?
And people that do the walk of shame always greet everybody. Everybody that they
Yes.
see.
That's exactly it. I didn't do anything.
You just want to look normal. Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Kofi.
Yeah, boy.
Yesterday was another briefing by the president or the vice president of
the
the
vice
Republic of Namibia. Kom ons kyk maar eers hoe lyk die syfers before we can quickly have a discussion about
Right, so we got good news in terms of the crowds. Now we're allowed to be 500 and not 200 anymore, as our wave,
Thank you.
our fourth wave, has reduced significantly in numbers. So active cases at the moment is 2,827.
Ja.
However, newly confirmed cases 21 and recoveries 9. So since the day before yesterday, we've seen newer cases being higher than the recoveries. But yeah, it's still in slow motion. Deaths, no deaths.
Good.
Day before yesterday, no deaths were recorded due to COVID.
Ach, nice man.
Yes.
That's good to hear.
I think we can continue, as the minister, the vice president has said.
So numbers are up to 500 now.
Yes.
That's I
But
think it's
still
the
they
right
are-
thing to do.
They're still warning, of course, that you just keep your distancing and all that kind of stuff. And they also said that venues that can only, let's say, have 200 or 300 people in the venue should not go and put 500 people in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so just, be logical.
I agree. No man, laat ons oopmaak en let's live.
That's it.
Ek wil ook net sê ons moet lewe. But now it will be unfair for us that took the vaccination. Nou moet ons met hierdie mense nog lewe.
Who didn't take the vaccine?
Yeah, but now they're going to be like, it's going to be open and the president is going to say, no, from now on, you don't need to wear a mask, no vaccination, what? And now we took the vaccination. My kid, man.
So, if you are vaccinated and you travel to Cape Town, you don't need to present another COVID test if you come back into Namibia. I believe that is the regulation now.
But I'm saying like now, if they open it up and say, okay, kom ons lewe maar net. Dan het ons verniet die vaccine gevat.
Okay, answer the question I'm asking because I'm on another topic now.
Okay.
Yes, so the question is, we can't. You don't need a COVID test if you travel from outside the country to come back into Namibia.
Yes.
I believe that is the new regulation, which is okay.
I like it.
I think which is okay.
But
Well-
the people that didn't take the vaccination have to provide the
They
test,
have to
ne?
provide
And as die rapid test toerin is die labs and
full CPR.
So
or what
you
it
can
is.
travel into the country if you are vaccinated.
Yes, if you're
That's
vaccinated.
basically it.
That's very cool. It's a bit lighter on my pocket also.
Yes.
Yeah.
because
Yes.
that test is around $800 ne?
800, 900. That's
Makes a
Kid,
difference if you're a family of 4 or 5 traveling to
6.
South Africa or 6, because
It's a lot.
You've got that you've got that expenditure on both sides of the country.
Exactly. Roviera vra Monique Bubbles van Wyk, is dit waar? That is in response to Toyshawn Michaels, Commasdal Ladies, Commasdal 27. Ro, vir jou informasie. Monique drives a BMW X3.
That's a
She does not need to take a Karatura taxi. She
Hey.
goes and drop whoever needs to be dropped.
at 6 in the morning.
You know, at 6 in. Oh, I thought you said 6 in the morning.
No, 6 in the
Oh,
morning.
6.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Not 6.
Not 6 o'clock in the
Si-
morning. 6 o'clock.
But those aunties give the cars to the guys.
Nog gevaarlijker.
Daar verdwijnt die mannetjies. Hulle antwoord nie die phone nie.
Monique, kom aan asseblief. Ek sal nie dat ek so geïnsult word op die show nie.
I didn't say Monique.
No,
I said those aunties.
This is nonsense. I will not be insulted like this.
I said
Monique,
those aunties as a
Monique, please come and defend yourself here. Thank you very much. Koffie.
Yes.
Daar het gereën gistermiddag.
Yes, and
As from 3 o'clock.
in Windhoek, no?
Ja.
So we've had some wonderful showers yesterday. It continued the good part into the evening. So cooler temperatures are still in the country. The widespread thunder showers are expected in the central north, Irongo, Otjizunchupa, and Khomas region.
Yep.
So we're going to get more rain again today. And yeah, we're forecasting that by 3 o'clock, 3:30 this afternoon, it's going to rain here in Windhoek. In the meantime, Namibia, the interior partly cloudy and mild to hot with a few thunder showers in the Zambezi or Maheke and southeastern parts. Elsewhere cloudy and mild to hot with isolated scattered thunder showers. The coast partly cloudy and warm to hot with showers. Maximum temperatures for today, let's start in the Zambezi region. In Katima Mulilo 33, Umathia 27, Ondangwa 29, Oshakati 28. Ochibarongo at 26, Rehoboth at 22, and Windhoek at 26. Mariental 32, Keetmanshoop 23, and then Beitigpos and Gobabis respectively, both 34 Celsius. That's it.
Excellent.
Ek die weer is baie mooi.
Mitch, jy sal nie vir Monique 'n antikom noem hierso nie. That's what Roviera says. I don't know if you were referring to Monique.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, so examine it. Yeah, so
I don't know really.
Janice, Monique is so op die pad, nee. Everybody probably knows by now that she drives a BMW X3. Monique, kom in asseblief. Thankfully, Norway decided everything will go back to normal. No mask required, and Omicron should chip. No more restrictions, and the government thinks Omicron ain't deadly. Our new norm is back. Is nou met, soms verstaan ek ook nie vir jou nie. Kom kurchiri. Amike na kuduva. Is nou met the one time you are for social distancing and safety and masks and everything, and you keep on telling us in the studio we need to be careful and we need to be extremely careful as to our conduct in studio and in
Typical
public
Herero level.
and etc. Now you come this morning on the show. Thankfully, Norway decided everything will go back to normal. Typical
Herero, I'm telling you.
number.
She's competing with us. Anything that we say is better. When we say we are closing down, she's like, then Norway started opening the small border.
Yeah, she's always the opposite. Have you noticed?
Yeah. Esther, will you
Anaconda.
worry? Don't believe these guys. Me, I'm on your side.
Anaconda. Another. What are you, Anaconda?
Are we talking about the anaconda again?
Ne, examine it.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
As all should, and I believe the UK is following suit. Krini, the only reason why the UK is following suit is because Boris is in trouble. Boris knows that his jig is up, his number is up. He's in trouble with the British public because what has happened. Okay? But yeah, I
he
believe
needs a scapegoat.
he needs a scapegoat. Yeah.
Yeah, he's too busy trying to get
we are going to
Putin.
open up now.
Estomich, hou op. Wat se, that was last year. 2 weeks ago, you still berated us here on the show. Hou net op, asseblief.
I think all of those European leaders, whether they had parties after lockdown or not, they're currently concentrating on Putin not invading the Ukraine.
I need
Because they
to-
say the critical time is now the next 48 hours.
Because they say Putin will attack tomorrow.
There are a lot of people that I've spoken to, some people that are really interested in international news, said that no, Putin will not invade. But then we then discussed it and said, but Putin will basically is scaring the world. And then if he doesn't invade, then he's going to look like a clown.
Then he's going to look like a clown. Let's see what transpires, but it's a difficult situation
Very,
there at the
very,
moment.
very
People
because
can also
serious
just put
situation.
people in difficult situations. Now we are going to say the guy's a clown and this guy would just try to prove a point. And no, we're going to have a war just because we made him feel uncomfortable. Oh, Jella.
he's got at least 100,000 troops
130,000.
amassed
But the
on the
Ukraine-
borders of the Ukraine at the
the
moment.
Ukrainian forces don't look too bad either. But the majority of their forces are reservists. So the Ukraine needs modern technology in order to defend, and they are getting some. I don't know if they're getting all of it from the West. So it's going to be very interesting to watch that whole thing over there.
Don't lie, Neville. You are looking for problems with me this morning. What's your beef with me? No, I want chicken, Estorich. I want chicken. Muhausi Bole says the UK was the first to abandon the COVID restrictions. Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens. Obviously, our success rate in terms of the vaccine is still very, very low at the moment. It's still below 20%. So as a result, yeah, it's still a very tricky situation in terms of, I guess, opening up completely and all the regulations being relaxed. But yeah, normally my mind changes around winter time, around June, July. when, I mean, we went through a terrible time last year, June, July, with COVID deaths. So let's hope we don't have a repeat of that this year.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then we can probably use the SWAPO building as emergency
Yeah.
building for us to put our people at the patients, the COVID patients. Yeah.
Willem Hamukwaya says statistics show that the new SWAPO building is the only building in Namibia that will be mask free. Wow. There you go. There you go. Ja, so begin julle weer met SWAPO. Leave SWAPO alone. Guys, just very quickly, one of our regular viewers or listeners on our show, Mutumba Simata. Funny enough, you're probably wondering why he's not on the stream this morning. Mutumba has been begging us for the longest time. Mutumba is a guy whose his field of study is agriculture. And when I say agriculture, we're talking about, I believe it's in line with cattle farming and probably crop farming.
Crop farming. Yeah.
He's been begging to have a 10 to 15 minute chat on our show to come and share exactly what it is that he is doing. And it is, I kept on telling Mutumba, I said, Mutumba, you know, with the MMC fans, these people, they are supposed to listen to agricultural advice
Yes.
and narrative as a way of becoming part of the Namibian economy.
Yes.
Because if we don't see agriculture as part and parcel of a business or entrepreneurship or as a passion, we will never become self-sufficient in this country. I don't know how you see this, Kalfi.
Yes, I absolutely am for that. It grew on me. Agriculture grew on me. My interest in agriculture over the last couple of years. I'm not a farmer, but I really, really got interested in all of it. And there's so many aspects to farming. You don't need to have a farm just to be a farmer. You can
Yeah.
do urban farming.
Yes.
You know, at your home. If you've got space, you can become an urban farmer.
Yeah.
And work a little bit more to becoming self-sufficient,
We need to ask him.
self-sustainable.
Self-sustainable.
That's the real word.
And we need to ask him about all of these things,
Yes,
because I got
yes.
a few questions in terms of farming. I think as a startup,
Okay.
what can I do
Yes.
for myself? Like you do say, you're not a farmer. What do you do to actually become self-sustainable in some way or the other?
Yeah, so if you are living in an urban environment, let's say a city or a town, and you've only got limited space available,
Yeah.
you know, just do something, you know, to assist you. Like, for example, grow tomatoes.
There you go.
You know, there you go. With tomatoes, you can eat the tomatoes raw. You can make jams. You can make
Yeah.
chutneys and all that kind. But just, you know, kind of start. Plant your own parsley. Plant your
Yeah.
own chives. You know,
Yeah.
rosemary, thyme, that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
But yeah. But I always take my hat off for our Namibian farmers out there. You know, they are vital people to us.
Yeah,
Supplying
I think
food.
to society and to the economy of our country.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have Mutumba here this morning, and I basically gave you a challenge the other day when you were begging to come and just to have a little chat on the show. And I know you've been a guy who's been in agriculture or in farming for quite some time. And thank you so much for joining us in studio here today, Mutumba. Good morning.
Morning, guys. Morning.
Is that little button down there?
Okay, it's down now.
Say again.
There we go.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Or should I say mic check 1, 2, and 2?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Good morning, guys.
Mutumba, can you just stand up again? Just so that, just make sure.
Big guy.
Have you seen how big this man is? Yes, young.
You born over a long weekend,
Imagine this being your last born.
Uncle Devil,
being your last born.
Uncle Neville, it's not my fault. I was born at the time where we had a balanced diet. You know, we had our breakfast, lunch, and we had our dinner. And most of you guys grew up just eating porridge from morning till evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But thank you very much for having me. Good to meet Kaufman finally.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you.
the controversial man, Mitch, always cracking jokes at Uncle Neville. But he's my uncle, so I don't know, should I call you Uncle Neville here? Or
No,
people say-
never.
Yeah, I'll call him Uncle Neville.
No,
or people
just
say
Neville.
it's
Uncle
favoritism.
Neville.
It's
Nee, just
favoritism
Neville.
now.
Yeah.
Anchor Neville.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just call you Neville.
Mutumba,
Yes, sir.
agriculture.
Yes, sir.
And in the past, we normally had people in the past on our show where we would engage them on agricultural projects. Now, the morning mix audience,
Yes, sir.
ne?
Yes.
These people only want to talk about sex,
I know.
mavutus, what else? Fish rot.
Fish rod.
Estomich.
Anaconda. Let's see what else. Liver seermaak. I don't know if those are feeble things that we do talk about, but I think it's important that we, for once, need to have a conversation
Yeah.
about agriculture. And you've been a guy who's been so passionate about agriculture. First and foremost, I think Mutumba, we're going to have a brief chat about this. Give us a little bit of background, what it is that you're exactly doing.
All right. Okay. Do I give you my life story now? But Uncle never knows my life story.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm a young person in agriculture. Most people are actually very amazed that I got into this business at the age of 18. So it shocks people. They ask you, why is a young person into farming? And you're supposed to buy the Golf GTI and disturb people's relationships. So that's what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So I've been in it. I farmed cattle for a good 11 years. I even graduated to start producing stud animals, which are now producing breeding genetics. And then from there on, I got into the YouTube space where I felt, this is good, but the broadcasting industry in Namibia doesn't want it on their channels yet. But how am I going to take it out there and actually show the world what Namibia is all about? Because when I always talk to my South African friends, they tell you, oh, that land where the sea meets the desert. And I tell them, yeah, okay, yeah, yes, we do have
It's that reference.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what they say.
Yes.
And then I'd say we do have that, but we are also more than that. You get what I'm saying? We have an agricultural sector where we've done great things, because if you look at historical facts of many of these cattle breeds, like the Simmental, for example, the Simmental were introduced by Kaufman's people. The Germans brought them
The
here.
Simmentaler.
The Simmental breed of cattle, Namibia was the first country to have them. And then from there on, we had the Pinsgau, the first country again. And then moving on, we had the Brahman cattle. We're the first country to import them.
Okay.
So-
We need to, this is Kettle 101.
Yeah.
Okay. For some of you who don't know what Mutumba is talking about, the Simmentaler, ne? There you go. The Simmentaler is that big brown cow with the white face. Okay? Or the eyes, around the eyes are normally white. Okay? Het jy al so koei gesien, so
Maar
brein.
ik ken die namen wat ons hulle noem daar.
Ja, is net koeie.
Nee, ons noem hulle name, hulle name ons.
Oh, hulle name.
Net soos die honde.
Yeah. So the Simmentaler breed, is the Simmentaler breed, does it originally come from Germany?
Yeah. I'll answer that question.
Okay.
It's actually from the Simmental Valley, which it is. Kofi, you can help me. What's the Simmental Valley is in which part? It's
I
not-
can only think that it
This-
would be in the southern parts of
Yeah, southern.
Germany.
I think
Okay.
it's- What's the country that's bordering? Is Austria?
Austria,
I think it's
Switzerland,
yeah,
those
Switzerland.
areas.
Switzerland. That's where it originated from, and then the German guys made it famous. And
Yeah.
when they arrived into Namibia, they brought them with on their ships.
Yeah.
So that's what they brought here with, beside the other things we always talk about.
So let me quickly ask you, what are the different breeds that we do have in Namibia?
Okay. All right. The three that I mentioned, but the Pinsgau is actually more in South Africa now. We still have our Bosmara, which is South African. We have our Limousine, which is French. We have our Charolais, which is French. We have our Nguni, which is ours now. And then you have what do you call this? You have some more. You have American breeds, which is now the Brahman.
Brahman is American.
Santa Gertrudis, Simbra, which was developed in the States. And you have some guys who try to bring in some Scottish cattle, which are called the, what is this? The Angus, which is
Angus,
the most
yes.
popular one, which is now a Scottish breed of cattle. And they have, people bring them here in bits and patches because you don't really get to see a lot of them. You know, the Angus, I think what happened was because of the climatic differences, they didn't really adjust that well. But now I see they're making a resilience, bringing them through South Africa. So we're trying to get things right with livestock in terms of bringing in European or American breeds.
Your main focus is basically cattle farming. That's what
Are
you
you a
do.
meat producer?
11 years I did do meat production, but then on my YouTube channel I tried to delve into deep agriculture. You know, I did do some videos on fish farming. I didn't really understand fish farming. You know I go to in the Zambezi region, open market, buy a fish, eat it, that's all. I didn't know people actually made an industry of farming with it. And it has its own name. People call it aquaculture or pisciculture. It has different names. And also the planting side of things, I also delve in that. We do also some maize up in the northeast.
Okay.
But I'm trying slowly to move many of the northeast farmers away from just doing maize because you need to do other cultivars.
Yes.
So this is where now of my YouTube channel, it gives me that, let me say that license to delve deeper, learn different things. We funny part of garlic. You know, Uncle Neville, when we go into the shop and buy garlic, we just know garlic.
Yeah.
We didn't know there are different types of garlic. I didn't know there was the Egyptian white, the Egyptian pink, which is the pink garlic, and then you have the giant garlic, which is the bigger one.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. And when you buy this garlic in the shop and you see it's growing, that you can't plant because it's infertile. So these are the things that my channel gives me that license just to delve a bit further and learn a bit more, you know. So because of that, it has opened up my mind to many things, you know, the fruits we eat.
My question to you, Mutumba.
Yes, sir.
I think a lot of and I come from and I say this from my background, and it's probably Mitch can probably very much relate to me.
Yes, sir.
I'm basically in my generation of the Basson family. I'm the only one who understands farming and who's been actively farming.
Yes, sir.
Because my people are from Katutura Groot Winkels. My people think meat comes from ShopRite. They think
Yeah.
vegetables come from fruit and vegetables. That is
I need to
the
ask you a
mindset of my people.
Yeah.
How do we get people who's watching the show now
Yeah.
to have an understanding
Or farming.
that farming is the next frontier
Yes, sir.
for us, whether you stay in Katutura or in
Tsumeb.
Pionierspark Tsumeb, that it is important to have a discussion about agriculture.
Our farmer.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, gents, you know, we just have to start off from this point. Different strokes for different oaks.
Yeah.
If I'm into farming, Mitch is probably into pimping cars out. That's what he likes.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't force him. But the thing is this. It's going to be very difficult, like what you said, Uncle Neville, when you're trying to convince the aunties, because we are family and I know what goes on there. They're not into that. But it's good to make them understand that this steak you're eating right now probably comes from a farmer. And this is why you must appreciate it more. You know, in the United States, and this is where I remember last time on the comments, I said they're very patriotic. In America, when you go into their stores right now, they have meat that's branded made in the USA. And then they have meat Brazil, whatever. So the American buyers would buy made in the USA. In Namibia right now, and you walk into ShopRite or Pick n Pay, you just buy whatever because you don't know where it's coming from. You get what I'm saying? And I think the angle right now that is being pushed by the government and many people within the agricultural sector is they keep on telling people the next billionaire will come from farming.
Yeah.
So of course, when I'm sitting at home in Katatura by the groot winkels and I word billionaire, and I said I've never seen a billionaire in my life. I want to be one, so I'm gonna get into farming.
Yeah.
And what happens then you get into it and you start messing up, or you get into it just a year or two, you're like,
This
it's
is
a lot
hard
of
work.
it's not as simple as it look. You know, because the other stereotype around farming, Uncle Neville, and I think this is why the family doesn't like it. It's looked as a poor man's job.
Yeah.
It's looked at as a job for a simpleton, because people think people that farm are stupid.
Yes,
Just
yes.
saying it. I don't want to. Mean, but
Yeah.
that's what they think.
No. Say
You know?
say it like it is.
That's
Yeah.
what they think. They think we're dumb. You
Yeah.
know, when they're seeing a young girl like such as myself into it this much, they ask you, "Mar, echini acherini?"
Yeah.
You know, they automatically
Yeah.
think something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't understand that it's a rewarding business, because what I'm producing on my farm ends up on your plate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if
Yeah.
I do it right, there's money to be made from it.
War.
You know?
War.
So there's money to be made from it. But I'm not trying to say that I'm going to be the billionaire. I'm not saying I'm going to be that. Because I always tell people, farming is like climbing Mount Everest. You know, many people have climbed Mount Everest. There's so many dead bodies there. Not everybody makes it to the top. Not everybody makes it down. You know, because every time when people invite me and speak about farming, why should I get in? And I tell them the story in 2014 where the South African farmer committed suicide because of the drought. Stuff like that are real in agriculture.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
make sure you understand the journey, you understand the practices, you understand how long it'll take. Like my dear uncle over here, I'm sure it's taken him time before he made back the return on investment. It's not going to happen overnight. And I get why many people would rather pick to have a 9 to 5 than farm. Because when you're farming, it's high risk, high reward.
It's like being an artist in Namibia, eh?
Same.
Farming.
The reason why Neville and I can't become farmers is because we can't sleep in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed? Farmers, at 12 o'clock, they have lunch and then they sleep until 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they carry on working.
And I
I
get
want
you.
to see those farms, but we heard about them.
Yeah, I get you when you're saying farming is like the people take it as if it's a poor man's job. Like
Yeah.
it's just like that in our community as well. Like, oh, that plus jabby, oh, that, you know, we say that, and there's really a stigma around that. But I want to know as ons as parasos and know, and you know, probably I got the funds. I got the funds, and as a friend of yours, and you know me. Trying to probably get married, settle down, you know, create something for my family, go up a plot or what. And you know I got the funds, and you must now convince me as your friend to like invest in farming. How do you do that to your friend? Because I'm gonna get married, and you know, getting married, having the cows and stuff, that's what makes you the man. So I want to know as a bra, how do you convince me and like this is gonna be really beneficial for you and your kids and everybody life, like in the long run?
All right. You see, Mitch, that's a touch and go situation. You get what I'm saying? Because even as much as I would tell you, breed cattle. If you breed this breed,
Sorry, Mutumba. I just want to say, as you continue, thank you guys that you are actively participating in this conversation. Thank you for the comments, and I will be reading the questions soon. But it's you are surprising me that you actively asking
Participate.
questions around farming and making comments. Let's continue. Thanks.
All right. Mitch, look, it's a touch and go, you know, because even though you have the funds, you have the plot, sometimes it's not for you. What I can do is, I can't tell you, because even if I tell you, Mitch, breed Bosmaras, because in South Africa, Bosmaras are going for 1.5, start bred bulls. It's not guaranteed that it's going to happen to you here too. You get what I'm saying?
If you say 1.5
million, yeah.
million.
Mukurwans.
It's million. It's up George Bosmaras there in South Africa. I think he's in the KZN area. He sold his bull for 1 million. Ramaphosa sells his big horn cattle for
Yeah.
about 3 million.
Yeah.
There was a beef master that went last year for 1 million rand, and these are rands, not Namibians. So as I was saying, Mitch, even though I would tell you all the stories, it's do you have it or don't you have it? The best thing that I've learned, and even my uncle has told me this, I have to take you to the farm, and you have to spend at least 2 weeks on the farm and see, can you do it? Can you, as they say, can you party with the big boys now? I need to put you in the kraal, the cattle need to chase you, you need to work cattle and see if you have a love for it. Because it doesn't matter, and what you're saying is true. There are colleagues who have farms, Kalfi, I'm sure you can also relate, there are colleagues who have farms, they don't do the farming.
Yeah,
I
they're
have a
people,
farm.
yeah.
I rent it out to Neville, I rent it out to you, I rent it out to Kalfi. I'm sitting in Windhoek driving my 7 Series, 4x4 here making noise in town, while you guys are doing the farming, and I'm just getting my money. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it really requires you need to be a special breed of person. You need to love it. I've been chased countless of times over a fence. I've worn countless of jeans. I injured my ankle on the farm. I injured my wrist. Even today, I still have a wrist injury from farming. So it comes to that.
The thing also in my mind, and you can help me, being a farmer, and I would not be able to be a farmer because I just don't have those physical attributes and skills to be able to do that. But if you want to be a good farmer, you need to be able to do everything. Over and above that, you have to work the animals, check out the crops, and you have to fix your own cars. You need to be a mechanic. You need to be a welder. Then you need to be a plumber to make sure that the water gets to where it needs to go. And then ultimately through the whole day, whether it's now cattle, corn, or chickens, you have to come home and make it at 6 or 7 in the evening, and then you have to be the farming husband to the farming wife, and your children.
Can I come go with
And
Fran?
your children have to be in a hostel. They have to be in town. You don't see your kids. You have to drive on Fridays or holidays and go fetch them. And so I take my hat off to all of you guys. Honestly, you guys are so
Very much.
impressive.
True.
Ek wil net gevra nou, so I wanted to know, is there a difference between you get farmers that farm to sell the cattle, right? They just farm it to the farm die van DC do and verkoop, and then you get the farmers from which we get the food on our table, like so now in other countries as well, there is a different method, halal meat has to be slaughtered in a different way or whatsoever. So do they do it at the farm itself, or they sell it to the butcher and it
You see, Mitch, it depends. If I'm slaughtering for my uncle here because want to host a lekker braai, I'm slaughtering it myself. But if it's to be slaughtered to be sold to market, Meatco is where you take your animals. Or when Witfle Abattoir was still open, you take it to Witfle Abattoir.
Okay.
So then, what you are saying initially, Mitch, it's a type of farming that also happens. That's us doing it on a commercial basis, and that's beef breeding. It's where I'm just buying the heaviest cattle, fattening them, and then taking them to an abattoir to be slaughtered. So you can have your rubs over the weekend, your chops, and all these things. But then you, like I mentioned earlier, the Up George guy who sold his bull for 1.5 million. That guy is a breed of genetics. His business is genetics. He wants to improve the Bosmara breed. So he's going to go and buy a bull that's probably, let's say, he sold his 1.5. He probably bought the father of that bull 2 million South African rand. He's investing, I'm even going for Uncle Neville. Just the Sherimuye, Albert Chehero, all these colleagues, Mitziger, you would know him, come up, Simbra, Charles Urip. That's what they do. I hope I said his name right. No disrespect to him. Urip, yeah. Urip, sorry.
I know Charles.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect him because he could be listening. So these guys are now in genetics. Just like how the gentleman who came in with his dog, he's a breed of dogs. So he focuses solely on genetics. He's trying to breed the most perfect pit bull. So just like them, you'd find the farmers trying to breed the most perfect Simbra or Samantal, or the Mitzigers breed Simbra. So they try to breed the best looking Simbras available with the best genetics, adapts very easily into climatic conditions and so forth.
Let me read a few comments here. Wessel Mostert vra, is daar regtig 'n mark? Is there really a market for the Wagyu beef? I know, vir julle lokasie mense, nee? Wat die ken wat is Wagyu beef nie?
Die dierste.
It's the most expensive beef. You don't even, and the terminology must be correct. You can't say the fat between the meat. It's the marbling.
It's the marbling.
It's the marbling. Now
Say
apparently
marbling,
this, say marbling, Mitch.
Marbling.
Daar sê. So apparently the Wagyu comes from Japan originally.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a way that they produce this beef, but it's apparently this beef is so soft you can cut it with a blunt knife. Okay, I keep on saying every time because I have an understanding that they do Wagyu beef also in Namibia now, and I still want to taste it. I haven't tasted it yet. What is your YouTube name? Net very quickly.
Okay, YouTube name would be Nduna Wengombe, or just go Google me. Google Mitchell Simata YouTube. You
Nee.
get me. Because that's a vernacular name.
Ja.
Only Mohau Sibolo would understand what I said. The rest
Ja,
would be...
want sy is baie orig hierso.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asser Harun was asking that. Vedi Kayere, wow, this gentleman is rather knowledgeable. Thank you, Mitch. Still, hy ken vokkel nie. Van farming nie, maar as die
Sê.
vroumense so dan het hy geras. Kyk, Malume, ons kan nie alles en alles ken nie. So and the reason why we are having Mutumba here today, ne, is laat ons kan leer. So we can learn from each other, and it's important that we need to have this conversation in studio today, so that we can all learn a little bit about farming. I am learning a lot today, say Estomish. Ask him why some cows get weird and chase people like real attack mode. Estimate my understanding of my years of farming. I started farming in 2005. My years of farming with animals that goes in attack mode, most of the times, in my experience, has always been Brahman, and most of the times it's cattle who are not exposed to people constantly.
And may I add to that, because one of my family members got very, very seriously injured a couple of years ago.
Is it?
Be careful if you approach a cow with a calf.
Daar's dit.
Very right.
Daardie ene. Och, is
Ja.
gevaarlik.
Ek wil net sê,
With coffee.
ja. Ek wil net sê 'n paar jaar terug when my wife's family came from Cape Town. Now, it is also the same situation, eh? Where these people, they are from Peru, hulle is van Bellville, hulle is van Bishop Lywes, hulle dink ook vleis kom van die supermarket.
Yep.
So my wife's uncle came and we were on the farm. So it's the first time that he sees cattle like live in front of him, eh? Okay? So I could clearly see that he's got a question that he would like to ask. Okay? So he looks at me and he says, Buta, is daai 'n koei of is dit 'n bees?
But you was reg, Neville. He was reg.
Strongly suggest not to go farming.
So I was like, Uncle Sylvester, a koei is 'n bees. A cow is the female van 'n bees. Okay? So 'n koei is 'n bees. Ek sê ja.
I'll be honest, and like I really want to get into farming. I just don't think at this age I'm ready to commit myself mentally with it and whatsoever. And that's why I'll be sitting here and just listening.
Are you
Be
talking
like-
cattle farming?
Cattle farming.
Okay.
I would
Alright.
like to do
There
vegetables.
are many
and
other
cattle.
aspects of farming. I mean, I'm a hobby farmer, an urban hobby farmer. I love aquaponics, hydroponics, combination of all of that. You know, just to grow vegetables, and chilies are my thing.
Yeah, that's
And
your thing, eh?
That's
Yeah.
my thing, I tell you. And chilies, I'm talking plants now.
Yeah,
You know, I think Namibia is ideally suited, especially in the communal areas,
Yeah,
to plant chilies. And let's get into a chili nation, just like the country Chile.
Chili.
You know,
True.
because
India.
we've got the perfect weather for that. And do you know that also chilies help to keep elephants out of mango fields?
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah. So, you know, there are many advantages of growing chilies, and we all know that the north of the country, we've got some serious chili eaters everywhere around.
But
So,
But I think Kalfi and Mitch, the problem is in Neville, is I have the years that I've been in the agricultural sector, and even when I do my videos on cultivars, which are now what you spoke on chilies and garlic and so forth, the interest is more from South Africa.
Right.
But when you talk cattle, goats, and sheep,
Yes.
that's when you see the Namibians coming in.
Atatata,
Because predominantly, I think we've just been.
Wait a minute. So Namibians are cattle farmers.
They know,
Yeah.
that's
That's
what
what
we
I was
love
just
to do.
doing
But
fun
it's
Yeah, we
from
love
the
to do it.
olden days.
It's been coming
man.
through our generations. I mean,
generations,
it's just like
Goats and
natural.
cattle.
We love, and Uncle Neville, your tribe, which you are partially Herero, you guys love keeping cattle. So
Oh,
it's
yes.
like, it's very difficult to convince, and they're starting now to get into the other aspect of farming. But it's what I've been saying, because with just farming cattle, we're creating a bottleneck. So when South Africa closes its borders here and says, ons koop nie weer julle se vleis nie. We have so much meat, we can't finish it. The population is small compared to the number of meat. In the north, you have more cattle than you have people there. So now, what I'm trying to start encouraging farmers, particularly these guys who might have arid land and huge tracts of land like Nikkertal you guys were talking about, we need to start producing vegetables which we would eat and what the outside market would want. Because right now when you speak of the Namibian vegetable sector, you're talking mostly about the South African vegetable sector. Because right now there's this brand ZZ2. I'm sure you've eaten tomatoes and carrots from them. They're in South Africa. It's the Van Zyl family. Van Zyl 2 family. They're in Limpopo. So they produce half of our vegetables and so forth. Now this is where
Mutumba, jy moet hierdie goed stadig sê.
Okay, sorry.
So that people have an understanding.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I enunciate on the show
Yeah.
so that people hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
So there's a Van Zyl family
Yeah.
in South Africa
Yep.
who produce tomatoes and carrots.
Almost every vegetable.
We as Namibians basically buy half his produce.
Yep. They're big, Uncle Neville. You should Google them. The Van Zyl family.
We have a family member also in the Limpopo area.
Yeah.
Just potatoes.
Yep.
And those people, hulle kan nie voorbly nie. And it's amazing how they sell the potatoes. The truck is still on its way to the market, and then they only negotiate the prices.
Yep. But
Yeah. It's like a stock exchange. You go sit in front of your computer and you say, okay, we're the brokers and all
but
that.
then Neville Kaufman, before you come in, Uncle Neville, I think the issue comes down to our colonial history of South Africa. Half of the supermarkets here are South African owned. You know,
Oh, right,
Spar,
yeah.
ShopRite, Pick and Pay. These are all
Not
South
even
African.
half, man. It's
Actually,
like-
everything. Just Woermanbroek is the only one, but Woermanbroek, you must tell them, it's your friends, Uncle Neville or Kalfi.
Yeah.
They must clean up their act, particularly there in Hockland Park. We don't like it. It's not looking like it.
I know.
They must fix it.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is, the fact that all these stores are South African owned, they have agreements. I know for a fact through research that I've done, ShopRite has a farm in South Africa, or they sign agreements with farmers in South Africa. So of course they're going to bring in producers from that
Offtake
side.
market.
It's why now Agronomy Board, the Agronomy Board has now been starting this program where they close the border and say we have enough sweet potatoes, buy local, we close. We have enough this, buy local, we close. But then I was sitting there and I was just thinking, you know, because you need to think. And I'm asking myself, if Kaufman has a store, he buys from Germany his cheese, he's got a storeroom. How much cheese did he buy from Germany? Unless we go into Kaufman's storeroom and we go take out all the cheese and we say go buy from Neville now. But even though we close, Kaufman's like, don't worry man, I got enough cheese to supply me the whole year or the next 2-3 years.
Yes.
I don't care because I have a storeroom, you know. Because I know for a fact, even during the COVID-19, you had the shops coming up and saying, we got storage, we
Yeah.
got enough food, we don't care.
Yeah.
So even if we close.
Some more comments here. The perception of the Namibian is that farming is a inheritable business, meaning you must have parents, family that were farmers for you to become a farmer. I think we need to change that mindset. This is what Tangeni Tlabanelo said.
Can I latch onto that? And I think you might acknowledge that farming is a long-term return on investment.
Yes.
So I tend to agree with that. You know, let's say for example, our grandfather had a farm. My father took the farm. I took the farm, and now let's say my son or daughter takes the farm. It's our next generation that are really going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
The first guy that started with it, he's really having the tough time.
Hand to
Yeah.
mouth,
And the
hand to
second
mouth.
one has a little bit more, a little less, and then a little less of a tough time. And then ultimately your farmer billionaire is the one that has just dropped down all to the bottom.
Neville, that's why I was saying I don't want like this is the type of things that your friends would even push you into, and just by force and just by peer pressure, you just go into farming not knowing that it's a lot of money that you have to invest into it and to get it in a certain time back.
Yeah.
And now you go into it, you don't have the love for it, you don't have the passion for it, you just did it because my bride ook a plus, my bride ook beeste,
Yeah.
and you just lose this stuff because this cattle can die.
Yeah.
Yeah, kom ek
You know-
lees nog 'n bietjie paar comments ouens. There's a lot of comments. Let's not cut out the people here. Kom ek kyk gou. Spain, they have bull riding, and some shows the bull is killed during the performance. Hard to watch. That's Estomish. Asino Kambikiti, when I grow up, I want to be a farmer. Masha sê, het sê ons moet leer farm. Van onze ouers wil graag hê ons moet eendag die family business oorvat. Masha, wow, if you do have that opportunity, please do so. Ferdinand Santos Uirap says, farming is the best backbone strengthened thing you know. Wil hom nou regtig dit gesê het, Kama rands not Namibian dollars. Ja, jy moet ophou sê rand hierso. Ja, the people say you must say Namibian dollars.
They took that from everything. Hey, die mense.
Gladness Timpany say, farming is not a walk in the park, it's hard work. I have started farming at the age of 22. Gladness, how long have you been farming? How old are you now? Mutumba, when is the right time to get the khaki outfit? When I buy my first cow? That's what Ro weer. Ro, thank you for that very important question.
It is called
asked.
the Herrero starter kit.
Das. met Omega sandals. Mohausi Bolly says, but you don't have to do all of that, Kaufi. Work out a schedule and get someone who appreciates farming the way you do, or use it as platform to do couples activities together. DC Yamaruru Mutumba, I think you should be advisor to the agriculture minister. Ferdinand Uirap says, I go for goat farming. Rose says, guys, start with bunny farming before you go big. Those bunnies hump for days.
It's actually true.
It's very true.
Why are we not eating rabbit?
I eat rabbit.
I eat rabbit.
Yeah.
No, I think
Baie.
so-
Kom ek lees net gou net die laaste paar comments klaar. Mutumba, you farm with sheep too, produce wool. It is a big market in cold countries. This is what Estomich says. Mr. Mutumba, any bulls you're selling at the moment, this is what Asser Harun says. Roviera, tek jy my nou weer, okay, dis nou die BMW geselskap. Wessel Mostert sê, Mitch sal deur 'n haan gejaag word want hy sal te veel na die chicks. Roviera, it is the thought that we as Namibians want to buy from South Africa. It is the monopoly within the South African shops based in Namibia. So the government needs to stop the importing of fresh produce, and that will help local farmers to focus more on herbs and veggies production. Nog so 2-3 comments. Now that we have a farmer there, ask him if hey. Estomish. Now that we have a farmer there,
Yes, sir.
ask him if ivermectin for humans are or strictly animals. The question is for Neville and Kaufi. Hey, Estomish Khanji. Asser Heruns, we even buying grapes from Namibia in most big supermarket stores in the UK. That is very good to hear.
Yep.
Dante Lovo says, I am interested in solar farming. There's a couple of questions and comments. I don't know how much you grasped
I
it.
think I grasped. Just touching first on what Kaufman said and what the lady spoke about bunny farming. Yeah, it's
No, Roviera is a guy. Hy gaan jou
sorry.
vloek.
Sorry, Roviera.
Keep it as a lady.
Yeah,
Keep it as a lady. Don't worry.
Respectfully,
Respectfully, Lady Roviera. Keep it like that.
I don't want to trend, please. Trending and getting cancelled, please. I just started. I can't be cancelled yet. So please, let's not start. But okay, as I was saying, with bunny farming, you can actually do it at home. But the problem, Kalfi, is that when your daughter sees a bunny, she wants to pet it. It's her pet.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't want to eat it.
Sure.
But China has a big bunny market. So if you're going to produce it, you probably have to export it to China. And Namibia, you'd have to, I don't know, maybe Mitch has a restaurant, tell him to put some bunny on his menu and start feeding people, let them taste it.
Right.
I've eaten wild hare.
Yes.
not domesticated. I go shoot while they're on the farm. They're delicious. I won't lie, I can eat them all day. They're very delicious.
Yeah.
But it's that perception
Sure.
of when, like the green people who tell us pigs are pets. You get a guy who's treating
Yeah.
a pig like a dog.
Or the
But when I-
donkeys in Uchu.
When I see the pig, I'm trying to run out. It's bacon. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get a thigh from it, you know?
Yes.
Trying to tackle it there because it's food. But they look at it, it's a pet. They dress it up. They teach it how to do tricks. And I'm asking them, when are we killing this thing? Because I want to eat. You know? So that's the problem.
when are we starting?
When are we eating this thing? Because for me, it's a
Is a dog a pet?
you know, the thing
Hey.
is, this is where the question comes in, Uncle Neville. You see, this is what I say.
You
A
made
pig-
him-
No. I love this because
It's,
the vegans always attack me on this. They love asking me this. If you can eat a pig, why don't you eat a dog? Then I tell them this. Why was a dog domesticated? What is a dog's job? Dog
To
herds your cattle,
protect us.
protects me. It's my companion. A pig, I domesticated it for food because when it was still wild, I was hunting it. Wasn't I chasing it through the forest? I was.
sure.
Cows we domesticated because we need meat and milk. But a dog would sit outside here when a leopard comes to your farm. You guys who farm where there are
Sure.
leopards.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fighting. It's protecting you. A cat keeps the snakes away.
And that is why I say a good horse belongs into the salami.
Calfee, good. Yeah, when they retire. Because people need to understand that.
Right.
A good horse.
People need to understand that as a farmer, we look at livestock or animals or even plants.
Yeah.
These are minerals. We need to turn them into finished products. If we have a horse eating culture where people eat horse meat, I understand. If the horse is old, I can't still keep it because it's going to struggle. It can't. Because remember, a horse's teeth, goat can't chew grass and so forth. So if I'm going to keep it on the farm, it's going to die eventually, and it's going to die a slow death because it can't eat anymore. Now I got to probably spend more money on buying food that's soft enough. You know, we humans, at least we get fake teeth. Horses can't get fake teeth. So what am I going to do with it? Am I going to leave it there to let nature take its course? Or am I going to end its misery quick?
Do
I
we
see.
have a culture? Like, do we have a horse eating
Horse-eating
culture,
culture?
in the
I don't think so, but I've heard some people say they've eaten a horse. It's actually sweet. I haven't
They say
tasted
it's, the meat
Yeah.
is very
Well,
sweet.
I haven't tried it.
eaten zebra.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I've
that's
eaten
something
zebra.
different.
Yeah,
Okay, it's the
zebra,
same.
yeah.
It's a
It's as
horse.
good as
Yeah,
a
yeah,
donkey, horse, whatever.
Yeah. And then
I love zebra.
I love donkey.
there was another question, Uncle Neville, if you can
Neville,
just-
I love donkey.
Here, hier's te veel.
Okay, cool.
Mutumba,
Love,
the khaki- the
I
khaki
love
one,
this
the khaki.
show today.
The khaki one.
Mutumba. Jy sal my nie in die wind kom soek hierso nie.
Okay, jammer, ek is baie jammer.
Jy gee nou daai moffie van 'n stompie bullets. This
sorry.
is what Roviera
Okay, I think
is.
the next one was the khaki clothing, eh, Uncle Neville? Yeah, it was the khaki clothing.
Yes.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to buy the khaki clothing.
Thank you.
We buy them because they're made strong. The material is different from this. If I go walk on a farm where they say wache bietjie doring, your
Oh.
polo shirt, your polo
It's not
shirt
gonna
is
survive
gone.
it.
The khaki
Wag 'n
shirt.
bietjie doring.
Die wache bietjie. Jy kan nie hak toe dan sê wache bietjie.
Ja,
Maar toe gaan die
I-
wache
I
bietjie.
get
I
it.
can steer.
So when that one grabs a hold of your polo shirt or your Levi jeans, it's game over. This is why you see most farmers, white, black, and every farmer wears khaki because they're made strong. They're built for safari. It's safari clothing there actually. It's built for the tourists of yesteryears who used
Yes.
to go discover places.
But now, what is it with the sandals and the Land Cruiser bucky?
That's why you see
Hello.
the thing is. No, let me answer Calfee.
He
Calfee's
also
right.
wears sandals.
He's right. So let's start off with the Land Cruiser. You see the Land Cruiser, Bucky, that's an ultimate off-roader. If I'm to buy a Land Cruiser right now, I can't drive around in Windhoek with it. This thing was designed for me to go to the most remote places in Africa, and it has a manual how to fix it. You can actually start dismantling and fixing it yourself. The problem is, we think it's a status for farming. And this is why some of us, we get a farm, I buy a farm, let's say I buy Uncle Neville's farm. I go buy the Land Cruiser V8, which costs about 500,000 to 600,000. I run myself into debt, and I can't afford it. But because I want people to say, as a plus boer,
Yeah.
and I buy it. This is why even the late advocate, the Ombara, the late advocate, I always forget his name.
Rukoro.
Rukoro.
Yeah.
Sorry. May his soul rest in peace. Said it once when he was Midco CEO. He said, I don't understand this obsession of farmers with buying Land Cruisers.
Yeah.
And Isuzu Bucky can do the same work. It's cheaper. But you
Yeah.
guys want the Land Cruiser because you want people to say, yeah, manna, hy is no boer.
Dis nou
Because
boer.
it's a status car.
And the hat?
The hat we have to because we burn.
Ekori.
I understand.
come
You
on.
must.
But why do you why do you guys always buy the hat at Agra?
No, they sell good hats.
Oh, I see.
They sell good hats.
Look, can we just like, because people from my side, they think the word boer is for a certain ethnic group in South Africa.
The
Can
Afrikaner.
please
here.
explain or here?
As jy 'n boer.
explain to Stephanus, James, and Roviera them what is a boer.
Luister, ek is 'n boer. It means a farmer.
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 That's where the term comes in. But we took it and we started calling a race boer. But initially, white Afrikaans people are Afrikaners. That's why they have the cattle breed called the Afrikaner. It's their cattle breed, so that's why they called it the Afrikaner.
Okay.
The Afrikaners.
Ek moet gou hier want ek word van Juggen Kesef gesê ek moet comments hierso lees.
Okay.
Natalie Orange is asking you a very personal question.
Okay.
Say Fra Mutumba, what is your shoe size?
Yes.
Ek trek 'n gesonde size 12 aan.
12
Ek trek 'n gesonde 12 aan.
Moerskon. Hey wena.
Whenever we tall, you're not short also. You're not a short person.
Nee, maar 12 is bietjie.
But we tall in the family. Your sons are
Ek het 'n
tall.
gesonde size 5.
His sons are tall.
As a farmer,
Devil. 5 minus 12, what is that?
as a farmer, you've got to kick a lot of ass. That's why big shoe size is important.
My kid was.
Monique vra is Mutumba gelukkig by die huis?
Yes.
It's a culture. I don't know. Maybe you don't understand the question, but we have a culture here at Trusco that if you want to hit on someone, that's the point of entry
Of entry.
question. As jy gelukkig by die huis? Ja of nee?
Nee.
Nee.
Die shows are jou ons koproes man.
Wag. Kom ek sit vlees op hy been. Nee, van dit reën en ek kan nie by my beeste wees.
Oh, ek sien.
So if you're gonna marry a farmer, if you're gonna marry a farming lady or a farming man, please come from an agricultural background. You would
Yeah.
think he's cheating. Van ons klim in 'n getie dan ry ons.
Ja.
En dan bly ons 'n hele maand op die plas.
Ja.
En you'd be saying hy seker het 'n side of iets warmtjie op die pad opgetel.
Kan
Wat
ek
is
'n kraal
besig?
op
Maar
die
hierdie
handbou?
maar Monique en Natalie
Dit
goed.
gesê word nou.
Maar Monique en Natalie goed, hulle sal nie kan hou by jou nie. I think in all aspects because you're a farm guy.
Hulle moet kompeteer tussen
Nee.
hulle bees. As hy vir my stres hy gaan breek plas loop kyk in my beeste.
Dis it.
Dan gaan selfs ek met my beeste. Ja, sal ek net nie tyd vir hy nie.
Natalie, ek eet bunny, just for your information.
As ja.
Hy's baie lekker. Wayulu says, someone please tell Mutumba that dog meat is a delicacy in Omuthia. Saying a dog can't be eaten, you are busy touching a nerve here. Ja,
Very sorry, I don't mean to offend.
ja, laat jy ken. Julle herros hou net van Isuzus man. Hey, tante, hey, cheap, J. Estomish is persisting on a question which you
Yeah, I think I
preferred
missed it.
not to answer on Ivermectin.
Oh,
She
yeah.
wants to know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, when they finish up I'm gonna then I'll answer for me.
Mohausi Bole, Natalie, I see you questioning about Mutumba's shoe size. All I can say is Caprivians have big feet. Yeah.
They grew up with crocodiles. Man. So, what do you expect?
Hulle maar op by daai goed te jog. You know, Calfie, I don't understand where it
Ellie.
came from.
Ons het met springbokke groot geraak. Ken jy maar?
Calfie, I don't understand because they make it sound as if I own a crocodile.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
Don't you get a crocodile on your birthday? Like if you turn 16, you don't get.
We don't even. If you had to say between hippo and crocodile, what do Caprivians eat? We eat hippo.
Yeah.
Hippo. We eat.
What
it's
does it
delicious.
taste
So you guys can kill a hippo,
Yeah,
like for real.
People hunt hippos in those dugout canoes. They hunt them. We
My
do those
kid
things.
must.
They eat hippo.
Why would you go for the most dangerous one?
No, it's because I think the perception comes in with most of us. It's a perception of it eats grass. So we can't eat something that eats a person. But then this is the craziest part, hey? When I was doing the video on fish, tilapia,
Yeah.
Zambezi brim.
Yeah.
Brim is a carnivore. Tilapia is an omnivore. I mean, tilapia is a herbivore.
Wait
So
a minute. Brim is a carnivore.
It's a carnivore. It
Yeah.
eats small creatures and other fish. And then tilapia is the...
I love brim.
Is a
So you're eating
herbivore.
something that eats. That's why when
Okay,
you
so
compare-
you guys don't eat something that eats
That's
meat.
the perception.
Oh yeah.
But we do go hunting. I have seen some uncles, it's very strange, some of these cultures, they'd kill a lion and they'd want to eat it. I think their belief is if I eat the lion, I'll
be
inherit its
strong.
strength. You see?
Yeah.
I eat a hippo, I might inherit its swimming abilities. I don't know. There's always some belief.
Maar
Yeah, but
Mutumba,
Yeah.
there's no way that you will not tell me
Yes.
that if I master in killing a lion,
Yeah.
that will not galvanize me up to a level
Yeah.
that says ek kan enigiemand opfok hier vanaf vorentoe. If I can kill a lion.
Now that you said this with, eat a hippo, I might be better at swimming and all that.
Yeah.
Something just struck me.
Yeah.
Did Christine Boma eat a cheetah?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we know what I know. You can't argue that. Don't argue that.
Problems. I'm telling you, colleagues, he's going to bring the whole Kavango here. Calvi, please. Please, wait first. You are too fast.
Was it?
On the ivermectin, Uncle Neville, before
Before I
skip.
nog gou 'n paar comments
Yeah,
lees.
let me just answer that. On ivermectin, I didn't use it. I got vaccinated. I don't know. There is research being done if it cures COVID, but the two gentlemen, they fact proof it. They say it helped them.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is when I go buy ivermectin for my cattle, Kaufman bought all the bottles.
Ah,
That is true.
Oh, dat moet julle nou stry.
Because when people started buying ivermectin,
Yeah.
they cleaned the shops. The shops
Yeah.
had to literally say one person, one bottle. I
Yeah.
had Afrikaans one of our neighbors. He had 10 boxes, big
Yeah, I know,
boxes.
I
And then
know.
he was telling me, Mitchell, kom koop bietjie hier by my ou seun.
So dan sit hy markup op.
That's the thing. And they were selling. Even some of our Shwambo, the hustlers, the Shwambo guys, they were buying and reselling it.
Nee.
So I can't really say if it cures COVID. I don't know. I haven't used it.
Yeah. But you are absolutely right. 100% correct. We saw that happening firsthand.
Hulle verkoop.
Vedi Kayere says size 12, good for farming. You know what? And we started off with this farming discussion. Ne? Now the conversation is gaining traction because we're talking about shoe sizes here. That is how unscrupulous these people are.
These people actually have time there to go on their phones and Google stuff about farming and sound smart on this, but they'll rather say shoe size.
Neville met says size 5 skoen.
Ek is bly met my size 5.
Is alright.
Ons mate.
Moet Savannah like begin drink. Here. Masha. Ek dra 'n 9. Fuck.
But I can definitely not short. I don't know why they make it sound as if you're a short person.
Yo, maybe I don't know if she's confusing me with
Devil,
Mitch.
a size 5 in Keetmans is die limit.
As 'n groot size.
Ek is 'n groot size daai kant.
Daai kan das. En Joban.
Don't judge me, man.
Ja. Daai stompie moet sy matrieksertifikaat bring voor hy kom slim hou hierso. Stefanus James Ananias. Ou lieg herromanne hou van plaspanne met Chiramwes. Dis wat Ali Griffith. Hey, gaan J Ali. Jürgen Kesse, alle manne wat undersize 8 dra is moffies.
Oh,
Don't argue with me. This comes from Jürgen Kesse.
And he
Yeah.
was catching feelings because we said Morpheus the other day.
But-
Hey,
but-
Tumba, perhaps moet jy die top fans host op die plaas. Dis wat Mohausi Bolly says. What do they say about men? Ag, Here with big feet. Julle hande om te handle Natalie. Are you ready, Macy? Ooh, Mohausi Bolly. Mutumba, are you farming on the other side of the red line? This is what the Roviera is asking.
I'll answer that.
Vanessa says, sounds like a good idea to go to Mutumba's farm. Vanessa, ons kan saamry.
Hey.
Ons kan saamry.
Mutumba sê, "Het jy 'n plas?"
Yeah, this
What
show,
happens on the farm stays on the farm.
and I mean, I'm happy that Estomich is the voice of reason on the show today.
Yes, yeah.
Estomich says, this show did fine until the shoe size
That's
question
what we
came.
say.
Yeah. Natalie says, stay in Katima for 4 years, Mohau. I love your cultures and people. Net nie die toer stories nie.
Hi, boy.
I remember Mutumba. As I say, when I started farming in 2005,
Yeah.
Mefro was particularly not happy with this new venture.
I remember you
That
told
I-
me.
yeah,
I think
that-
we're together.
Yes, that I went into because Mefro, every weekend if we go to the farm, daar sit sy daar in 'n hoekietjie, very annoyed that she needs to spend the next 2 days here. Sy bly die hele tyd
The flies.
so, die vliee en die wat. Coffee, I think 2 years into farming, I think I produced, I think it was probably around 40, so 40 kalvers. And they were around, sê so 'n jaar, so tussen 8 maande en 'n jaar. Het ek besluit, nou gaan ons fondisie toe. Daai kalvers per kalf het seker omtrent elkeen sê so 3,5 rand. That's what I got paid at Agra at this auction.
Right.
Finally, mevrou
Understood.
understood. Sy sê, my man, wag bietjie. So 3,5. Wag my man, wag net so bietjie. Wag. I still remember this day at the Agra veiling. 3,500 mal 40. Here my man, is 140,000 rand. Is dit ons se geld? Net so alles onder tax free. Net so.
Yeah.
Ek sê ja, my vrou. Luister my vrou, hier is 50,000 for the fact that you gaan koop vir jou iets en koop vir die kinders. Woe, my man. Nou gaan ons elke naweek plas toe.
But that's the language you have to speak.
That was, Kofi, my introduction to my family having an understanding of
Yes.
farming.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
What would you suggest? And I remember when COVID hit in 2020, and ek weet, Kofi, you started out with your chilies and stuff like
Yes.
that. And ek het na jou gekyk when you started with this chili thing. Ag, Here, wat is hierdie fucking Duitse nie besig? Fuck, whatever. And he actively started and, showcasing on social media, say botteltjies and what, and I tasted some of it.
Delicious.
And this thing just became, sê tog hierdie tuin maak by die huis, gardening for people.
Yeah.
The small crops. Everybody started doing this at home
Even in
during
Osona,
COVID.
né?
Yeah.
Oh, Osona
During
die mense
COVID.
het gedoen.
So would you say that need for us to have an understanding that maybe 50 years from now, Namibia can have its own fan sale if we start in our own backyard.
Yeah, no, Uncle Neville, it also, okay, on my auntie's situation.
Nee, sy is volk.
Okay, yeah, but no, I can't say that. I'm sure she's watching and I might not be invited to family lunch.
Yeah.
So I have to keep it clean here, right?
Yeah.
So you see, the problem is, and I think, what's his name? Mr. Mitiga, he breeds Simbras, come up Simbra. He told me, this is what he said, a senior man in farming. He told me, if you want to be happy in farming, marry a woman from farming background. Because if you're marrying a town woman, sometimes you can convince them, sometimes you can't.
Hierdie Maria is lekker goede.
Yeah.
Those typical town women.
Yeah, it's very difficult to convince them. Because like my uncle said, if he goes and buys a bull for, let's say, 70K right now, 70,000, it's going to be war in the bedroom. In its parliament, he's going to be criticized, and then the wifey will probably influence the kids, and they'll be on your case. You're wasting money.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they don't understand. So if you marry a woman, whether it's Herero, Damaro, German, or any other tribe who's from a rural background, understands agriculture, you guys will be happy because she can help you. Imagine if you had fallen ill, Uncle Neville, and you ended up in hospital with COVID.
What?
Say
Would-
this stuff
would-
slow.
Okay, if
You marry a...
if you marry a woman from a rural background, doesn't
Yeah.
matter what tribe.
Yes.
Because let's say my uncle, when he had COVID, ended up in the hospital
Yeah.
on a ventilator. The farm still needs to be managed. Will his sons be able to go? What's the
Yeah.
influence? So if mom is from a rural background, you definitely gonna go. Every December you're on the village or the
Yes.
farm, So it really, but then you get some who you can convince. Some are open-minded, some are not. The only farming they know are the dogs and the cats at home. That's all they know. They don't want anything
Yes.
to do with it. Because like my uncle said, I've seen some sitting with the entire insect repellent. Just tsat, 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 dan gaan hulle in die huis in, word hulle kwaad, dan moet jy die generator aansit, dan moet die aircon nagesit word, and should be put on full blast. You
Yeah.
wanna watch DSTV.
But
And the fuel?
Yeah, the fuel, eh?
The generators fuel now.
So it becomes a problem. But then quickly, Kaufman, on the issue of urban gardening, look, we need to educate ourselves to understand Namibian soil, Windhoek soil. I have to say, I planted carrots for the first time. They grew. And I
Nee?
was amazed. They're at home and I actually pulled out 2 to see what's
Hou
going
op,
on.
man.
They grew.
Yeah.
And that's when I sat down and I said, Windhoek soil is fertile, it's just stony. So
Ja,
even
nee?
if we start the Nickel-Tel Dam story,
Yeah.
what people don't want to look at is the land preparation. I don't know,
Yeah.
Nickel-Tel Dam is barren, right?
Yeah.
So we have to breathe life back into that soil.
Sure, sure.
So it's going to take time before we can start making money from these things, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, urban gardening is important. We also need to start producing. We can't all be cattle farmers. We
Yeah.
can keep some cattle, but let's diversify.
Yeah.
If Uncle Neville is the Simbra breeder, his son can be a garlic farmer. I know the reason why we don't want to get into the crops is, you know, if you're farming in Malta here, the rain is not that good. It's water, it's constant having to dig boreholes, and it's expensive. So before I even get my watermelon, I'm spending so much money.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why people go into livestock, cattle take care of themselves. All you do is medication, feeds, and that's
But I have to say, I've noticed something, and we've got to take another angle here. We need to also see this out of the perspective of the cattle.
yeah.
They are highly disagreeable on all of this, because I've noticed when the farmer walks past the kraal and he looks at his cattle and he says, "Hey, wil julle meatkou toe gaan?" Dan sê hulle,
But they call me like
highly
yeah,
disagreeable.
no, yeah, you know, just honestly speaking, is before people just say farmers are heartless people.
Yes.
You have to understand, we need to
Yeah, yeah,
sell
yeah.
some to keep the herd healthy.
Yes.
Me selling like what my uncle did, him selling that 25 brought money into the house. He was able to reinvest into the herd, buy medication and so, because these things are expensive.
It's
Remember,
expensive.
all our medication is developed in South Africa. Namibia, we don't produce vaccines yet here. Even the foot and mouth we had to get from Botswana. And now the question of am I still farming commercially? Unfortunately, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to give a political answer right now. If you want to get into farming, your family and yourself, finish. Don't involve other people. Politics in family is what kills black business. Kaufman staff are able to keep one farm for 100 years in a family. Why? Because it remains Kaufman and his family. They don't, the wife cannot come say, she can come complain, ek hou nie van plasery, but he will say, is alright, bok, maar my kinders, my seun wil vat. But once you start having too many chiefs on a farm, there's fights now. Like as my uncle said, when my auntie didn't want to do it, if she pressured him and he started listening, he was going to sell. You know, particularly when a drought hits and you beeste val and dis geld wat uitgaan en die mense steel, you're going to sit and net be like, hey, I spent 35,000 on that bull and he was geslaag, die mense net bode gevat. Die rest van die ding lê daar.
Yeah.
And then if wife is not into farming and she says, verkoop die plaas, maak toe ons mors geld. You also sit and say, manne, kom ek maak toe. Gaan ek mors geld. So it's very important that when you start, Mitch, try to bring the wifey in. Because remember, wifey is the influence at home. If wifey doesn't like it, the kids are not going to like it.
Maar wag, and it's important that you say that. Bring wifey in.
Yeah.
But wifey, you also need to willingly come in.
Yeah.
Because we have options.
Yep.
Mavutu.
The Kofi, the number of married men
Yeah.
that you will find on the Gobabis Road, Okahanja Road, nee? Driving, jy sien, het sê hierdie Land Cruiser bakkie ken ek. Hierdie is Mutumba wat hier ry. Let me pass. Laat ek net die man salute. Then you drive past en jy kyk so, ai hello. Dis 'n ander vrou. And I'm telling you honestly, this is how many marriages have been destroyed because the wives don't want to go to the farm with the husband. Nobody's lady was, oh, maak jy so. Is na, Mavutu gaan saam.
Yeah, but what you're saying is true. Hold on, Mitch. Hold on quickly. I've seen this.
Oh my God.
And someone actually, it was being spoken on a group chat in South Africa, where they said, why do you see so many Afrikaners with a black lady, one of his farm workers,
OC.
works for OC with him? Because when the wife dies, the OC becomes the madam. But she doesn't have madam powers.
Yeah.
She just gets privileges now. Sit langs voor. And that's what happens. A lot
Yeah.
of my German people that I know,
Ja.
have taken the Sun women who stay on their farm and made them their compatriots. Significant
Duitsers ken smaak.
That's a
That's why.
That's say.
Duitsers ken
It's
maar
the
goed.
other way
Hulle wyn
around.
met kas.
It's the other way
Hoor.
around.
It's the other way around.
Yes.
Die namas ken smaak.
Once they tasted bratwurst, they never go back. They never go back.
Yeah. No, it happens. But on what Kalfi said, On what Kalfi said, Uncle Neville, aren't you partially German Herero? Or are you full Herero?
There's nobody that's full.
Herero, you
Yeah,
partially.
because what I know is we have German,
Yep.
we have Nama,
Yep.
we have Damara,
Yep.
we have Xhosa,
Yeah.
we have Himba.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
at
so-
least 5 bloodlines that I know that. we
Why
have.
I'm bringing that element into this discussion, Uncle Neville, is many of my Herero friends don't want to say it. But in honestly speaking, yes, there were women who were raped. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But there were some white German men who had relationships with black or Herero women.
Yes.
And some of those kids
And it
were
was
just-
mutual
Yeah,
relationships.
and it was produced out of that, but they would never say it.
And they're still
Shimbona.
together. Some of them are
They'll,
still.
they'll, they'll never say it. Some of them would say it. No, my parent, my mom, my grandmother was raped. But sometimes it was a mutual relationship.
It was a mutual relationship.
So this is
which
why,
is beautiful.
Yeah, this is why you see that happens. But then on the question, am I still farming? Up till 2020, 2021, when COVID hit, I had to stop my agricultural business. There was politics. There was also economic reasons. I had to take a step back. Because when that happened, I remember my uncle, once my Uncle Neville called me and asked me, "Kom maar, Joe Mogo, wat maakt je nou?" And he didn't know that time I'm going through some dark times now because I was in some very uncharted waters.
Okay.
You know, COVID hit. I was working for the company that's currently being investigated in SA. I shall not mention names. It's being investigated. You can go Google that. I was working for them. And then COVID hit. And I think it gave them opportunity to say, we have met a quota of how many dark-skinned people we can have. Let's cut. So they cut. And I was one of the people that got my head chopped off.
Okay.
So then from there on, because now the farming thing, it's expensive because I was leasing. I didn't buy, I was leasing. And the leasing was becoming, because now some municipalities sat down and said, hey man, that's COVID. Must stoot die pryse, man. Must stoot.
That's right.
So when they stoot the price, you're pushing me out now. Because I'm not yet on the billionaire level.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. So I left that. And then when I was sitting at home, job is gone. You're sitting at home, you're unemployed. Your bills need to be paid. Your electricity, your insurance and insurance trust. You guys love us that time, eh? You know our
Yeah.
numbers that time.
Yeah.
Jaga daar gebel en ge-SMS en ge-email. So when all this is happening, my medical lead is calling me. I'm sitting, I'm going through tough times. I'm rubbing my head. I'm asking, what am I going to do? My kettle are gone. Those savings I've utilized. 'Cause
So
I
you've
have
got to restart.
yeah, I have to restart from zero.
Oh, hell
so then
no.
what happened then, a friend of mine sat me down and said, Mitch, you have your YouTube channel? Because I started my YouTube channel because I was working on radio, KCR.
Oh,
basically.
KCR, yeah.
That's why I started off. So then she told me, you have that channel, it's been dormant. You started in 2014, you have about 5 videos, 0 views, 0 subscribers. What's going on? Give that thing life. So I went back, I rebranded it. This is why I gave it a Venek name, because I used to call it Farmer's Corner. And then my one friend called me and scolded me like, I type Farmer's Corner, they're like 100. I was watching a guy in Germany, his thing is Farmer's Corner, and he's speaking German. And I'm confused, because I was wondering, since when does Mitchell talk German? And I was like, okay, it's not me. Let's go back. So I had to call it the name Duna Wengombe, which means headman of cattle. That's the name. But you can just go Google it, Mitchell YouTube channel. Then I created that. I went back into it. I had to teach myself how to edit, because I studied media and journalism. I had to go back to what I learned. Had to edit, create a jingle, learn how to insert pictures. Because prior I just used to use a book on my tablet and show you this is how Nguni looks like.
Yeah.
But then people are like, when I want to see pictures, man. So I had to add the pictures. So that's how I went with it. And from there on, it started picking up like a house on fire. I started getting subscribers, but mostly I'm from South Africa. I'm talking with guys' names like Becky, Zulu, busy asking me questions on Simbras and so forth. And then sometimes I did my first interview. And this is why I say, Uncle Neville, and this is what I'm going to say. People who get resettlement farm and complain of water problems, go watch my interview where I interviewed a lady by the name of Elise Eliphas. This lady got a farm in Malta here. Mitch, you from the south, Uncle Neville, Kaufman, you guys know that area. It's not the best rain area.
Yeah.
But she's now running a garden, a very big garden, 50 hectares plus.
Wow.
She's producing carrots.
In Malta, yeah.
Malta,
I
yeah.
saw that.
She's producing
I
carrots.
saw that setup.
Yeah,
there.
she's producing carrots, she's producing green
Wow.
peppers. And her farm didn't have water, she had to put in solar
Wow.
pumps.
Yeah, I saw
Similar
that.
to what I saw a couple of years back, one of our higher ups complained that the farm they're on doesn't have water, so they need to get another farm. So when you make such discussions, or when you make such statements, you are literally taking a dump on the hardworking farmers who are struggling.
Sure.
A person
Sure.
who probably got a farm in the Omaheke where there's a poisonous plant, he's trying to make the best out of it. But then when this particular individual said they're giving up their farm there because of these problems. They want another one. I also applied for that farm, and I didn't get it, unfortunately. The person got it. And this is why, even when it comes to the resettlement issue, I'm going to touch on that right now before time runs out, because I see my uncle's looking at the watch there. I need to make sure I stay
I
with
want to
that.
read comments.
Okay, let me
There's
just
a
finish
lot of comments here, and people are gonna piss on me if I don't read the
Let me
comments.
just quickly touch on it, Uncle Neville.
Yeah.
On the resettlement issue, my biggest issue that I have, Kaufman, and I think you and I can agree on this, even though we're different skin tones. If you're going to resettle a person who has an agricultural background.
Yeah.
If you're just going to give land to
Correct.
Mitch, because of his political connections
Correct.
or his surname, we are destroying it.
Or it just happens to
Yeah.
come out of that region.
Yeah, and that is why Clinton Bernardus, sorry, not Clinton, sorry,
Bernardus.
Clinton is a good friend of mine, but Bernardus made the statements of why are people from the north getting farms in the south, while we the southerners are not getting. So we need to start sitting down and moving away from that and saying, if Kaufman gets 1,000 hectares, what is he going to bring here?
Yes.
Just rather than giving land willy-nilly because we want people to get into farming.
Yes.
That's where I have a problem. I know my uncle travels. He always says, I travel the length and breadth of Namibia. There are resettlement farms, beautiful houses. They've stripped the hell out of that house. It looks like a ghost house. But hulle strip alles, hulle- Queen Sofia. You were there?
Yeah.
You were there, right?
Yeah.
They were given Sanapoel by the Spanish government.
I remember.
Wat gaan daar aan? I don't know. You tell me, I don't know. Wat gaan daar aan?
Guys, I need to. Wow, I am so impressed that, and I must first and foremost say, Mutumba, before I read the comments, I think I prejudged the morning mix
Yeah.
Oh, your people.
crowd.
I judged you guys.
that
Yeah.
because in the past when we would have agricultural discussions or talks, they would be very docile. They would be, "Ag, hier, sê die man moet cheap." Verstaan jy? You know how it goes.
I know, I'm part of the communities.
But I think the fact that you, I think Mitch, you are Mutumba, you are a young guy, you are very progressive, and you speak in a language that warms to your peers.
Yeah.
And I guess that is probably, we need more of you guys for us to have an understanding of exactly what the importance of farming is,
Yep.
or agriculture is,
Yeah.
to see a future and a career in that. Asino Kambikiti, Bunny's got a big market in Uganda and Kenya. If you are going for bunnies, you must have a big market because this things hump laat het goed gaan. They produce very fast. Natalie weer op dieselfde perkie. Mutumba kan ons topfans toch plas toe gaan. Jy slag vir ons 'n lekker skapie. Ons bring die drank en ander goed. Kan jy antwoord asseblief op die show?
Wat se plas toe.
Okay. Maria says, Mevrou must get compensated for all those weekends going to the farm against her will. Nee?
Yeah, but that's true, Neville. You have to.
Koffie, bra, jy embarrass our gender. Jy kan nie Valentine's hemp vandag aan het nie. Sê, liewe Iskia. I understand we on the other side of the red line got beef market up in 3 African countries so Kale can keep his red line. This is what Asino Kambikiti says. Daai ou se vrou kyk die show en sê het nou die pet snake vir 'n stappie gevat. Pas op. It's now you. Wat Rovera says. Tuva! Excuse me, I actually love farming life. Even I have my own vegetable garden that I started myself. I love preparing food with vegetables and herbs I planted myself. Ja, nee, ek ken Tuva. Yeah, I know Tuva, she's been into farming for some time. And I know you're doing extremely well there, my sister. Nee, so 'n groot man kan nie bang raak nie. Vanessa, ons gaan toch saam nee? Ja. Just came into wisdom, says Maria. Hey, ek campaign nie so jong. Ja. Estomi says, I have a Facebook friend. She produced chili sauce. It's called Ondungu. She's doing fine. Selling in some stores now. There's a market for this stuff. Wapakwa Florence Ndinda. Come advertise your business here. Why it is successful. Daar's dit. So ouens, los die town girls. Soos Monique, Natalie en Vanessa Goete. Go for the girls in the fields. Luister, Jy sal nogal nie vir Vanessa woorde gee nie. Vanessa goes to Marintal regularly. Thanks for the conversation, said Joti. Edible landscaping roots. You should get in contact with Neville as well. I know you know your farming as well. I agree to the Boer way. Run and manage it with the family. Recipe for success. This is what Maria Ileka is saying. Weet jy hierdie conversations nie. Don't have options. Okay. Ek probeer nou kyk, is there farming related conversations hier, want almal praat net oor hulle moet by jou plas gaan. Dis al.
Then it's not a weekend out.
Neville, thank you for bringing this. Yeah. I like your statement here, Roviera. Neville, thank you for bringing a deserving guest. Thank you so much. Mitchell Mutumba. Guys, sorry, let me quickly start off with you guys. Mitch, is there any final words that you would like to share?
Oh, no, I learned a lot today.
Ne?
And I also because one of the things that I also wanted to do was start farming, start buying small stuff, because one of my friends also started while it is, and I just got to understand I'm not ready for it. I really wanted to do it seriously, but I just got to understand, no, I'm not really still ready for it mentally, physically.
Yeah.
And to also give it that time that it needs to. So I just learned a lot, man, and probably dodged the bullet as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, from my
Thank you
side,
so much,
I just say fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. And I think, from Informante Live, if it's okay with you, we'd love to have you in terms of our farming sector, our agricultural sector. Maybe we can discuss after the show whether we can have you as the go-to person for information, if that's okay with
Here
you.
die mannetjie is 'n probleem.
There. Ons soek die info. We've got to get
It's
the
been a
information to the
problem.
people. It's our job,
It
Neville.
seems finally it was up to a point where here. Okay, Mutumba.
Moet ek jou sê wat sit in discussions nou? Ons is
Check.
ons moet dit maar 10 minute
No,
maak.
he said.
Exactly.
20 minutes after the show, Neville
Yeah,
is going to go
oh.
and Google what is the price of a farm in
En hier sit ons 'n hele uur met Joe en dit was
No, because
baie informatief van praat.
I was very straight up with
I
you.
know, because I
Loved
told him, put me in, coach.
That's it.
You don't know what I'm bringing.
Yeah.
So glad you did that, Neville.
I watch the show. I traditionally follow the show. I'm not gonna lie. I'm always commenting. I've always been commenting. Even the last arguments you guys are having, where I was trying to defend you, but it was very difficult that day. But I agree with what you did. Like our mothers would tell us, if you have nothing nice to say, keep quiet. It's fine. But then it's done. So I'm always there. So I was telling my uncle, Uncle Neville, I could be the first YouTuber in Namibia to get a YouTube plaque.
Yeah.
And let me come
Yes.
here. Because once I get it,
Yes.
we come to celebrate here. So
Yeah.
get me on, let people know this young man exists. Because most of our people are watching South African channels. And it's said to me, we have our people, they're Namibian content creators. And usually when we talk of content creators in Namibia, it's the same faces. We see my uncle there, we see you there. Where the young people, where the new people at?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it's quite sad that, like I said, sorry, Uncle Neville, I know you're still reading your comments, but as I said that, it's quite sad that my subscription base, my supporters, are foreign. I had a guy from Kenya, Ethiopia, from an area called Burana. I didn't know that existed.
Burana.
Talking to me. And then another sugarcane guy called me, spoke to me via the comments and said, do a video on sugarcane. I didn't know. I eat sugarcane. We plant sugarcane at home.
Yeah.
I didn't know the growing process, how much it costs. They say just a hectare of sugarcane, Uncle Neville. You're talking about 70,000 Namibian dollars just
What?
to produce a hectare of sugarcane, because it requires that much work, and there's still the burning and slashing type of method. I think that's why we don't do sugarcane in Namibia.
The margins are
At a
too
big-
low.
So when I heard this type of things, I'm sitting and I'm saying, okay, if I do sugarcane, who's the sugar millers? We got the miller here,
Yeah.
but how many are there? Is there association somewhere here that I can join? I'm sure they are, but Uncle Neville, and he mentioned this once to me, he had called me and he asked me, don't you get tired of the racism in agriculture? And unfortunately, it is there. Because some of these colleagues want to keep these things to themselves.
Yeah, sure.
This is why, Uncle Neville, most of our people like the Albert Cheheros and Iskavari are getting into the Brahman society.
Yeah.
Because we're kept out.
Yeah.
Even if you get
Go
into
for it.
the
Go
sheep
for it.
and the goat, they keep you out.
Kyk,
You know?
kyk, om net maybe just just to add to that before we do end the show. I've seen this many a times at cattle auctions where you would see a black guy. It could be an Urip.
Yeah.
It could be Sydney Martin.
Yeah.
It could be whoever who sits there. Obviously, Sydney is actually a bad example because he's been so seasoned.
Yeah.
White people buy from him all the time.
Yeah.
But let's say it's you,
Yeah.
but the quality of Simmentallers that you come up with at this auction.
Yeah.
En Calvin, wie ons het dit baie gesien. Then you would see white farmers sitting there and they make the comments. Ja, ek gaan nie van 'n kaf verkoop nie.
Yeah.
Ek gaan nie van hom koop nie.
Yeah.
Then because he does not want to anybody, all his other white farmers friends see
he's
that he-
setting the tone.
that he's
idiot.
buying from a African. Okay, I'm not going to buy from him. As die auction klaar is,
Yep.
dan loop hy om die draai. Mutumba,
praat gou.
luister, kom ons praat gou 'n bietjie man. Daai bil wat jy daar. Then he will buy the bull agterkant. But he does not want anybody to see.
yes. Yeah.
But
Oh,
but
yes.
you know what? These are it's feeble things.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the
must just
country
make the
grows.
money. Yeah.
There are more unity amongst black and white farmers.
Yeah.
The ones who thinks that they can operate separately from either from black to white or from white to black, it's dying out.
Yeah.
We all one Namibia, one nation.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for your comments today. It's really been you guys you guys shocked me. You guys shocked me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What a show.
Ro, net om finally for you to say, because you keep on asking throughout the show, how am I this guy's uncle? Okay. My cousin, okay? My cousin,
It has to be a cousin.
yeah, it's my cousin. It's my real, as in my Shiramwin. My cousin is married to Mutumba's father, okay? So, and Mutumba's father is the former Minister of Information and Technology, Stanley Simata. Okay? So we've been family for well over 25, 26, 27 years. So Mutumba actually grew up in front of me. So we are family. Okay? So just for us to have clarity. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy your day. Wag, kom ek lees nog so 'n paar comments. Thanks Nduna, says Readiness Chikongo. Natalie and Daddy, thank you. 5 hours of morning mix, please. says Samuel Makale. Maria Aziz, only Tate Neville is allowed to bring in guests.
Yes, Mitch.
Nee.
Luister daarso.
No, I bring in the most fire guest here.
Luister, for what it's worth, nee, I also learned something from the girl yesterday. Yeah, I learned something.
They
If
don't
there-
know.
If there are other people who did not learn anything from it, as alright. Kom ons kyk net very informative. Thank you Tuva, thank you very much. Mutumba het hom geplak. Daar's dit broer. What the hell is it supposed to mean, Rovera?
I killed the show.
Oh yeah, nee, you killed. If that is what it means, then surely you did. Thank you for the wisdom, Mutumba. This is what Regine Cathy says. Good day, my people. Ek 'n groot man moet nou gaan. Breakfast. Sê Asino Kambikiti. Mohausi Boli says niks, ons is klaar met daai. Julle is klaar met wat? Rovieras, for now on, Neville is allowed to invite the guests. Coffee bring Dilo.
What? Wait, just say what? I've got to go see that comment immediately.
I tried my hardest in the comment section.
Yes.
Neville, invite the guests. Coffee bring Ndilo, the girl,
Oh, no. Hell no.
and Mitch brings the Slay Queens. That is. Sure, dit klink daar's 'n man in die huis vandag. Ai, gaan. Yes, sis. So
think
is
this guy
Mutumba now the only man here?
Planted his fans.
Mutumba se
Kama say
moer,
fans
man.
can say, come comment something.
Yeah, yeah.
But the reason why you came to the show is you had a dialogue with us. You didn't come and argue with us about farming being good.
You know, which I called my uncle up after the show.
Hey, Tuva, gaan Jay.
And
Yeah.
I told him, you should have protected Calfee. Calfee, she attacked literally your whiteness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your white privilege.
It's okay.
We are
almost sound-
tired of
Yeah.
your white privilege.
She almost sounded like a Julius man. I was like,
I will not be sitting with people like this yet.
and unfortunately, I can't call and be like, Calfee, ga net eet me, bra. Gaan drink koffie en moenie terugkom nie.
Don't say. Coffee's comment was like, I mean, it was just the killer. Like, I am not gonna buy your book. And her response was just priceless. Ek worry nie.
Let's just say he's insecure.
I'm not
something
gonna
like
say
that.
Yeah, your insecurity, what
Insecure
the?
man.
Ek stel nie belang nie.
White insecure man. You guys.
Because Calfee, I really wanted to call you up. Like, Calfee, just go outside, drink your coffee.
No, that would
go
have been
smoke and
seen
we'll come
as
back.
running away. I will never do that.
But seriously,
Guys, thank you.
That was the best thing.
Thank you.
Nah.
Mutumba, sharp,
But thank you so
sharp.
much,
Daji.
man. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you. What was bad, Calfee? I really tried. I tried to protect you, but I couldn't.
Hey, Mohau Khanjay. Hey, Chip Mohau.
Mama,